I'm Norm Shrine with Information Radio 1660, and I'm with Fairmont Firebirds head coach Dave Miller for week 11. Now we're in the playoffs.
Yep.
First of all, you had an 8-2 season, number one seed in the playoff region, and co-champions of the GWalk. What are your impressions of the regular season, and would you consider this to be your best Fairmont team?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what we've accomplished, definitely. I think we're, about as well-rounded as we've ever been. But we talked about the other day, it's a 9-year, to me, kind of in the making. Those teams, we talk a lot about the foundation, the bricks that have been laid by teams that have come before these guys and what they've done to kind of push the envelope or raise the bar for the next groups. So it's pretty cool to see just where our program is right now. It says a lot about our kids and what they've, number one, learned from the previous groups and been able to kind of take the mantle and run with it and taking us to new heights. So it's pretty cool.
First of all, what led to the decision not to play Brock Baker at quarterback in that game?
Well, he got injured against Springfield one of the last few plays, and so precautionary until we really know what's going on with him. But we, part of what we do is guys like J.J. Hill being able to come in and take the place of a 3-year starter. That's not easy to do, but I thought he performed really well. That was the biggest thing. I mean, Brock got hurt, and he was healthy, he'd have played, but we just had to hold him out. So, hopefully things are good, but we'll see where it goes.
So a follow-up question to that, is he going to be back this Friday?
Not sure.
Okay, we'll wait and see. Was anyone else held out of that game?
No, we pretty much played with everybody else. In fact, we got a few kids back. Chase Ford, had a broken leg earlier in the season, was able to come back, and I think he played about half the game, so that was good. Provided some depth, and we built, some pretty good depth really through the year, which is good. But so Brock was the only one that we held out, that night.
He looked like he wanted to go back in anyway.
Oh, he did. It's hard to restrain him, so always is.
What are your impressions of J.J. Hill? First of all, handling the offense and rushing for 92 yards.
Yeah, and he was 3 for 3 passing on top of that. One of the smartest kids I've ever coached. He's an IB student, at the high school, and just very cerebral. He sat and watched, Brock Baker operate here for the last several years, and I can hear him back there, in my ear, during the games and in practice, and he soaks everything in. Definitely a student of the game. We're in good hands with him. He's a junior. He's played a lot of football. Now, maybe not varsity football, but that was his first start. Hadn't had a lot of experience, but you couldn't really tell the difference. I think the way we're built favors that situation, where we can, I think, easier than some of these teams that maybe feature the quarterback a little bit more. It allows a kid like JJ to come in and perform and do well. So,
the second touchdown was Thornton from Hill for 30 yards. What made that play successful?
Well, we thought they were kind of loading the box a little bit, not really watching, and that came from actually Coach Boyce called it. It was just to the weak side there, and we thought Cameron could get behind him, and he did. And JJ underthrew him a little bit. Cam made a great catch on the ball and got in the end zone, and it was a pivotal moment because we were struggling a little bit at that point. We special teams wise, we really, that was kind of one of our worst performances. But we got to get better, obviously. But left points on the field. We didn't punt all night, so we were still doing what we were doing. But that was big. That got us, a go-ahead touchdown, I guess you'd say there. And we added the other one. That's kind of insurmountable. We both do. So that was a big play.
Defensively, you held Beavercreek to 112 yards. What are your overall impressions, starting with junior linebacker Skylar Slifer, with 13 tackles, of which 7 of which were solos?
Yeah, he's a player. And I think, we didn't play our best game defensively. They knew that. They were disappointed. They really only had one drive, and we helped them with some penalties, kind of back to back, getting them out of third and long, where they're not very, neither are we. Third and long for us, because we both kind of do the same thing. It's difficult to manage, so we let them get to the third one, and that's a lot more manageable. And we shot ourselves in the foot on that drive. They also did a good job, getting in the end zone. And, but outside of that, I thought we played pretty solid, against something you don't see every week, So, but yeah, Skyler has become kind of inserted himself as a leader there on the defensive unit, and we have some guys that are with him that play pretty well. So. But we got to get better. That's the consensus, I think, from coaches and players alike. After Friday, they were not satisfied with that performance at all.
So overall, this was a 6-point game into the fourth quarter. Many thought this would be an easy win. Why was it so close other than Beavercreek's improvement?
Well, they've improved. You got a coach over there who spent a year with us. Knows a lot of the intricate details of what we do, and he's a good coach. He has good staff with him. And the other thing is, we talked about it. It's like our style of play. You're going to take possessions away. I think we had 6 possessions, between us. So it's hard to, everybody expects blowouts or whatever. We're not built that way. They made us earn what we got on offense. And like I said, I think when you look at the overall yardage and just what we did per play, we were pretty much on schedule all night, and we didn't punt. We missed some field goals and, didn't get a 4th and 1 down there on the goal line. So that easily could have been 34-7, something like that. But we left points out on the field for sure. But that's stuff we can build on going forward here into the postseason. So, we have to get better. I think that was the consensus Friday night. Our kids were not. Yeah, we could won a share of the GWalk title, and we celebrated that. But they were really in no mood to celebrate, their performance, our performance. So going forward, we just have to get better.
For the first round of the playoffs on Friday, it's a home game against a 1-9 Central Crossing from the Columbus area. How challenging is it to get tape to scout a team from out of the area?
Not as challenging as it used to be. I mean, we have Huddle, so we traded 4 films, and I'm sure they have more, and things like that. Those things start circulating this time of year. It's not as hard as you think. Back in the old days, it was. I mean, you had to send scouts, and you trade VHS tapes and things like. I still remember those days. I remember the reel-to-reel films. That's how old I am. But when I was a kid, my dad was coaching, and we used to watch on 16 millimeter. So in high school we did. But so anyway, it's not real hard to get the film. The thing that's kind of hard is you're not familiar with each other, which that can sometimes work in your favor, sometimes not. The record is deceiving. We told our guys all week. I mean, they play a really good schedule. So they're playing against top-notch competition. Columbus is, the D1 teams, D2 teams up there are really solid. So we've not done well against them. In our playoff appearances, we got Hilliard Bradley the first year and kind of got our doors blown off in the second half. Last year, losing to Kaufman up there was a tough game, 14-7. So, I don't think we're going to look past anybody. For sure. I don't think our guys are really. I think they're more looking at themselves, hopefully, and the fact that we didn't perform well Friday. We have a lot of room for improvement, and we just need to kind of concentrate on ourselves and our process. So.
Final question. This team has only scored 13 points in their last 5 games. What are your impressions of them? I mean, you gave some, so do you have some others?
They're athletic. I mean, it's again, who they're playing against, who they're matched up with. When you start going down the list, I mean, these are all up in their region, playoff teams. So they play good defense, and their quarterback got hurt. I think it was maybe 3 weeks ago. They have a sophomore that's in there that's doing a fairly good job. I think he's still trying to figure it out. They're very athletic, very talented. They have a running back that's as good as anybody we've seen. So we have to play every play. We have to do what we do, and just kind of again worry about us and us getting better, and hopefully the outcome will take care of itself Friday.
All right, Coach. Well, for us, it's our last broadcast of the year, but we figured that you're going to hopefully win here and move on through the playoffs. So we'll be listening to see how the Fairmont Firebirds do for 2024.
Sounds great.
We'll be back again in 2025.
Sounds good. We'll be here.
Okay, Coach. Thanks.
All right, thank you.